Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the wonderful live streams that I have not been doing for the last 2 days, and we will talk about that, and I will justify anything that you guys want to ask me right now. Currently speaking, Bitcoin is up 2.3% on the day leading into the Fed meeting and, of course, the Fed minutes, where Jerome Powell will be talking to us, and we will get the rate cut, hike, remain same interest rate decision that, of course, we all are expecting today. Now, I think sentiment tells us that most people are expecting no rate cut. I mean, that's what we're going to get. We're not going to get any changes in rates, but most people are expecting the market to sell off right now into or right after the meeting. I don't know. I think too many people are thinking it. The structure does look a little sus, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened, because we continuously are getting rejected here by this 20-day moving average, and we're currently under the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin. I don't know though, we'll have to wait and see. Ethereum, on the other hand, is pumping a little bit here today. We're finally getting a little bit of life in Ethereum, even more so than what Bitcoin has been seeing. But you guys, I'm sure, want to know what we're going to talk about today and why I have been missing for the last several days. I understand. Trust, I understand. And we will get into that. I will explain what I've been doing, and I will showcase to you some of the cool features that I have been implementing into the tool sets for Bill. A lot of the live stream today will be focused on artificial intelligence and Agent Bill, of course, because that is what I have been 100% focused on for the last God knows how long, but that's why I haven't been making much content, and that's why I took the last 2 days off. By the time live stream started, I was too in the weeds, and I couldn't stop. I just couldn't, okay? You understand. You guys will thank me later, trust. I believe so. But what's going on? Good morning, Sarah, over on X. Good morning, MK. Good morning, Solus. Good morning, Zapirate. Good morning, Beagle, C90, Steven, 2 Raider. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Wild Africa, C90, welcome in. Hopefully you guys are amped up and ready for the day. As you guys come into the live stream, please do hit that thumbs up button. It makes everything feel a little bit better. Also, as far as the memberships are concerned, in the next week or two, those should be coming back. I had to go in and change some stuff in the YouTube settings, which I was being resilient to, but I did it. I caved. Good morning, Dr. Crypto. Welcome in. Let's see what you guys are saying here right now. Market will take a critical hit. I don't know. ETA for FOMC. The FOMC is in, I believe, like 2 hours, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So we got 2.5 hours before that. I will not be live for that, but I will leave you guys on with some information and some things to pay attention to for the meeting, so that you guys know what to expect going into it and are paying attention to the same things that everyone else is paying attention to. So we have 2 hours until the decision is made, with 99% certainty that we will not get a change in rates. That means we will not get a change in rates because the Fed does what the market is expecting. However, we need to pay close attention to what he says, what Jerome says, okay? And take your notebooks out. This is the part that is important to pay attention to, okay? Patrick is back. Let's go, baby. Mods. Remove Zach. Remove him. This is what you need to pay attention to, okay? We want to see what he says about future rate cuts, all right? Market is expecting, I believe, 3 for the rest of this year. I believe. It could 2 or 3. I don't remember right now, and I didn't check before I went live. So 2 or 3 rate cuts by the end of this year. We want to see if he confirms what the market's thinking. We want to see if he says maybe none, maybe only 1, or we want to see if he implies that they're going to potentially be doing 4 or more rate cuts. Now, if he says something like 4 or more, I would expect the market to sell off a little bit. I really would. I know it looks good, but the market's going to be like, yo, why are you pivoting again? You just pivoted to the less rate cuts. Why are you going back immediately? What do you see that we don't see, right? Market's going to freak out. Now, if he comes in and says only 2 rate cuts, or maybe only even 1, market will also probably freak out, because they're going to be like, hold on, we need some rate cuts. What the hell are you doing? So really, anything other than, I think, 3 rate cuts being forecasted into this year, I don't know that the market's going to really love that. But we will have to wait and see. It's also going to be important for us to listen in on any forecasting of the tariffs. Obviously, it's the same as last month, the same type of situation that we're in compared to last month. We aren't going to be getting any of the data from the tariffs this month, really. We likely won't be getting any information on how the tariffs are affecting inflation and everything until probably not even until like mid-May, to be honest. We won't get confirmed information. And so it's really just a waiting game. I believe there was some sort of like, I forget what it is off the top of my head, and maybe it'll come back to me in a little bit, but something happening in 2 weeks on April 2nd. So if any of you guys know what signifies April 2nd, I believe it's a major milestone for the Fed. So you guys put in the comments if you want. Something about order book at 60K. Oh, somebody's saying that we're going straight down to 60K on Bitcoin. I hope not. I think 60K would be a structural break in this bull market. If we go down to 60K for Bitcoin, I think that we have a complete structural shift in the bull market. That's probably where a lot of liquidity is, because that's where this area of contention was last time. But that big of a drop, I don't know that I could maintain the same confidence that we continue the cycle. I think that would be a pretty awful drop in Bitcoin, but who knows? Who knows? In that scenario, we would shift all of our time frames to multi-year instead of just this year for everything, but alts would get destroyed. I have a lot of interesting things to talk about with DeSci. However, can I get some ones in the chat if you guys want me to talk about what I've been focused on, and of course the AI automations with Bill, before I go over everything I wanted to talk about in the live stream, or if you guys would like, put some twos in the chat if you guys want to talk about the different things I'm seeing in DeSci before we get into the AI updates for Bill and what I've been so hyper fixated on. So let me see some ones if you want to hear Bill first, and two if you want to hear the information about DeSci first. And we'll take a little bit of a poll version here, a little bit of a poll. We're doing good though. Let me go ahead and kombucha, not sponsored, although it should be. You guys are funny. I have not, like, there's nothing different about my hair. I just slicked it back yesterday, right? So I slicked it back yesterday, and now today it's just retaining a little bit of that. Usually when I get out of the shower, I put some product in it, and then and then it just curls up because I just have curly hair. But yesterday, I slicked it back so I could be a greaser. It could be firm. Okay, so I got a 1, a 1, a 1, a 2, a 2, a 2. We are literally split down the middle, which means you're going to leave it up to me, aren't you? You're going to leave this decision up to me. And if that's the case, I'm going to split my decision. I'm going to do both. Okay, you ready for this? I'm going to show you an automation workflow that is currently up. Okay, so see, this is what eats into all of my time, all right? So I'm going to showcase this to you guys, and then I will explain why it takes so much time to do this kind of stuff, and then we'll go over some of the news, and I will show you my rationality behind this, okay? So this right here is an AI workflow platform. It is called N8N, and each one of these square boxes is a node or a snippet of code which is functioning and doing its own independent task. And each one of these tasks or snippets of code here, when put together, create a large-scale automation workflow, or what I'm calling it, a tool, okay? Each one of these workflows is a tool which I can then give to Bill, who is an agent, and Bill can use this tool at his own discretion, right? You guys follow what I'm saying? This tool specifically is a research agent, all right? So what I did before I started the live stream, but I'm assuming that OBS is eating into too much of my computer's abilities right now, and so it's erroring, even though it's been working fine for the last month or so. I built this a couple weeks ago. I'm showing you stuff that I've already created so you can get an idea of where I've been going with things, but this is a research tool. So if I were to go ahead and hit the test workflow, which I guess I don't want to do right now because I want to go diagnose the error that occurred in this workflow, but what will happen is I can ask any question that I could possibly think. So for example, the question that I asked for this example before, which errored, so you won't end up getting to see the actual results of it. But the question I asked was, what is the relationship between Federal Reserve rate cuts and the stock market performance over a 1 to 6 month time frame, right? A very in-depth question, a big question, which I could go ask ChatGPT, right? That would be cool. I'd ask ChatGPT and it would give me a little bit of a breakdown, but it would be very generic and it might have some hallucinations and it might not be the most accurate piece of information. It certainly won't give me many sources or detailed breakdowns of studies that have been conducted on this topic. But this workflow here will go through a series of refinements to break it down into several sub-questions that I'm really asking. And then it has a research manager agent which will go through and using different actual peer-reviewed workflows out or citations out there, actual academic journals that exist, it will go through all of them and compile a fundamentally strong argument for why the outcome or the answer to the question that I prompted it with is the answer, and it will spit out a PDF anywhere between 10 to 20 pages with citations included in real academic journals. So it goes through and scrapes academic journals and gives me a put together research paper on the exact question that I asked it, and you can be as specific as you possibly can be with it. And so what's going to happen is I will give Bill access to this workflow. Unfortunately, it errored right here, so I'm going to have to go in and kind of break it down. But I will give Bill access to this workflow, and when he gets prompted with questions, he will then determine, is this a question that I can answer with my current knowledge system, or do I need to go do some deep learning research on his own? And so because I'm not capable of uploading every single piece of information that's out there on the internet to Bill, if I give him access to a tool like this, he can curate his own PDFs and then put it into his knowledge base, and he just becomes this super advanced intelligent system. Absolutely amazing. What's good, Jonathan? Welcome in. I've been good. I have been just working on this type of stuff though. And see right here, we had an error in the aggregation system node. And so I have to kind of come in here and figure out why this errored on the 7th run through the system. See how it's got 7 items have gone to this? 6 of them were successful, but on the 7th output, it had an error. So I need to figure out why and then troubleshoot and fix it because it was working just fine before this. So there's a bunch of different possibilities, but that's where all of my focus has been on, is just making sure that this kind of stuff doesn't error. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It's pretty powerful. And obviously there are a ton of different tool sets that I've been working to build out. I was talking about one of them in the Discord earlier today. I'm not going to go over it here because it's more of a one that I have a work in progress in right now. And so I don't want people front running me and stealing the idea. But that's the kind of stuff I've been doing. It's been super fun, honestly. It's been a blast. And you guys would be very shocked, very surprised at the amount of tools that are out there for people to actually get involved and create your own stuff. You don't need to worry so much about not understanding what's going on. You can, in fact, just start making things. And I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. This is an example of a PDF which I had created previously. I hope it doesn't make me sign in. Oh, it does not. Yeah, it's going to make me sign in. I don't want to have to sign in to view a PDF, so I probably just need to download this thing. I don't like that it's rerouting my computer like that. I don't want that kind of control given to Adobe. But regardless, I've created 2 PDFs. I made one earlier today that worked fine, but I can't seem to open it right now because whatever reason the computer doesn't want me to showcase it to you guys. But it's a lot of fun. It's been fantastic. Can I get that, sir? Fire. Unfortunately, if I were to give it to you, Beagle, I would then have to front the cost of every search that you guys do. And so I'm willing to front the cost for the searches that I do and the searches that Bill does, but every time it runs, it costs me a bunch of money because I have to go in and you saw how many nodes there were. There were a ton of different API HTTP requests out to different web applications in order to get that to work. And each time I'm using tokens, and each time I use a token, that costs some actual physical cash. We used to study them in class. It looks great. I know, it's a lot of fun. Looks like a flowchart for Bill. It absolutely functions just like a flowchart as well. But so some of those types of advancements, and there's been a lot of different tools that I'm building out, but we can talk about that a little bit in a few moments. I do want to go through some of the pieces of information that are out there in the world of DeSci right now. So right now, first up is a post about Genomes DAO. As you guys know, Genomes DAO is one of my favorite DeSci projects. They are continuing to push forward and fundamentally improve. And there's just a little bit of a clip here talking about how Genomes deals with true data sovereignty as compared to 23andMe. For anyone who doesn't know Genomes DAO, obviously you guys do know Genomes DAO, but it is 23andMe on steroids, on chain, so that each person who provides their DNA has sovereignty over their DNA so that it's not being exploited and sold on the black market like what happened with 23andMe. So it is a giant field. It's a huge field. Huge. Working non-stop, bro. Hell yeah, Jonathan. China has the most powerful quantum computer. How will Dynex react? So they say, Jonathan. So they say. From everything I've seen, Dynex has the world's most powerful quantum computer, but it's a simulated computer, so I'm not sure. Let's see if it's doing the volume.
So where in the normal world, you have a patient on one hand, the patient goes to a hospital or a healthcare facility, the patient gives a blood sample, saliva sample, and that sample is translated into data. Essentially, what you
can you guys hear it? I doubt it.
Patient and the data. So these were two different entities from there on. So the healthcare organization, they don't think anymore that the data is the patient.
I feel like you probably can't hear it, because if I recall correctly, you guys could not hear it previously. So let me go ahead and look into the properties of the audio device to see if it's giving it out in the correct spot. Nope. That one's even worse. You know what I can do? It's going to be a little bit annoying, but let's go ahead and... Yeah, China has... SpecTruth says China has made many claims in the last 3 months, and almost all of them have been proven false. DeepSeek claimed it costs less than 20 million when it costs exceed 100 million. Yeah, they make claims all the time. Not very good, boss. All right, thank you, C90. China claimed years ago that they broke Shaw's algorithm, and they just didn't.
Specifically, it's looking at ownership data. So where in the normal world you have a patient on one hand, the patient goes to a hospital or a healthcare facility, the patient gives a blood sample.
Okay, never mind. It's not going to work. It's fine. We just won't play videos, I guess. We just don't get that luxury here. Thanks a lot, chat. We don't get the luxury of playing videos here because you guys can't hear it for some reason, and it's definitely not my fault, so it has to be your fault then. The Shadow Realm. Data Lake has been in the Shadow Realm for quite some time. I know, Jonathan. I know. It's been brutal out there. It's really been brutal. DeSci's not been making any moves on the price action wise. Now, I'm trying to cover some of the fundamentals behind the DeSci project so you guys can see that they are still making some moves. But yeah, genomes, over 50 million genomes staked is massive. Thanks all. You can stake and earn your kit at staking.genome.io, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Right? They are making a lot of moves. They're actually getting an aggressive amount of genome staked to earn that kit token. So if any of you guys hold Genome, I would definitely look into this to see if it's worth staking for yourself, because they're giving out like 50% APY on Genome tokens through Kit, which is super aggressive. Let's go, MJ. Welcome. I saw you ping on Discord. No news on the snapshot. Audit on the new CA is still being performed by Certic. We'll have to wait that out. Bullish. Okay. Is there a deadline for the snapshot? Do we have a date for the snapshot? I got tagged by someone over on X asking, and I have not been paying any attention to stuff, and so I had to go to my insider source, which is you, about some Noble Blocks news. But for anyone who's not aware, the current Noble token is tied very tightly to Hedgie, and Delroy's been having a bunch of qualms with Hedgie again post-hack and post-recovery of the hack. And so rather than have to continuously deal and be reliant on Hedgie, they are launching a new token, same blockchain, same everything. They're taking a snapshot to go ahead and give everyone the same amount of tokens that they have. However, that's not true. It's not the same amount. They're giving a bonus based off of how many tokens you hold of the new token. So I believe it's anyone who is holding more than 5 million tokens is getting a 50% bonus on the amount of tokens they hold. Anyone holding less than 5 million is getting a 25% bonus on the tokens that they hold, meaning you will get more tokens for holding the Noble token when we migrate to the new contract. And they're just waiting on the snapshot. It's not just one snapshot they're doing, because people would just sell after the snapshot trying to trick the system. Ooh, good. Good. What's the point of the migration? It's so that they can get away from the reliance on Hedgie. So it's good. I think it's good. I do think it's good. It's a little bit annoying, but I do think it's going to be good. Plus, they'll be able to wipe the chart and have it look pretty again, and then people can't complain as much. No lies told here. Exactly. XRP case is over. Finally. Super cycle incoming. Hopefully, Jonathan. Hopefully. We will see. Another interesting thing that I want to draw everyone's attention to is Hempy. So, for those of you who are unaware, Hempy is one of the IP NFTs. Hempy is one of the IP NFTs that have come from the bioprotocol ecosystem. So, they are coming from Valley DAO, and they have created an enzyme which makes hemp fibers soft and durable like cotton, so that we can make textiles out of hemp rather than cotton, because you get something like 4 times the amount of material for 4 times less cost in a function of water. It costs less water to make hemp, and you get more fibers from hemp than you do cotton. So it is better for the environment to make clothes out of hemp than cotton. The only problem is that hemp has been notorious for not being super soft, right? And of course we can go through the whole war on drugs that the government did that made hemp kind of like siloed and illegal to be used. But then back a couple years ago, they removed those restrictions, and now it's a race to see who can make the best clothing out of hemp, because it's going to be cheaper and better for the environment. And Hempy is the IP token behind the enzyme which makes hemp more soft. And they just had some really fantastic results come from the lab that is showcasing this enzyme is actually very effective in making the hemp soft, which is amazing. I've also know that they are going to be making an AI agent around Hempy, kind of like a mascot for Valley DAO. So I'm very excited. You guys know I'm a big holder of Hempy token, and seeing this kind of news come through and seeing some more advancements from Hempy is very advantageous for all of us. Or me, I guess it's advantageous for me. Maybe not all of us, because I don't know if you guys hold any, but I hold a lot. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because this is some good news coming out of those IP tokens, and I've gone over it with all of you guys several times. I've gone over it all with you guys several times. I am under the impression there's more than this, but Dex Screener kind of gets rid of them after some time. It's weird. It cycles through which ones are allowed to be on here. But all of the Bio Protocol IP tokens I am wildly bullish on for when we do get that uptick in Decentralized Science. I think that these are all beta plays on the ecosystem within DeSci, and I think that once there's an attention cycle through, these will pump like crazy. So that includes Ovaria, that includes Hempi, that includes DMXE, that includes BR, that includes Vita RNA, that includes Vita Fast, that includes all of those tokens, right? Look at this. DMXE is a $56,000 market cap. BR is a $260,000 market cap. Let's go to Dex Tools and see what Hempi is chilling at. Hempi is a $200,000 market cap. I do not believe that this will stay like that at all. I do not believe it stays down here in the slightest. I think these are $30 to $100 million market cap projects, meaning there's a potential for 1,000x on this if it goes, or sorry, not 1,000x, a 100x. Sorry, my bad. Only a 100x. Only adding 2 zeros to the end of it if it goes well. And I think it's going well. And as a matter of fact, we just got information to say that it is going well. It is going well. So this type of news is exactly what we look for to gain that edge in the market. And yeah, so that's what I got for Hempi. Now, for one of the most exciting things to share with you guys. Actually, I think this is ValleyDAO as well. No, that's just my broad market stuff. I have 3 posts here to share with you guys about none other than Dynex. Now, I feel like it's a little bit off topic if I start talking about this, so I'm not going to, but I want you guys to understand that when I get fixated on something, I really dive into it and I really make sure that I understand it to the best possible limitation of my mind, right? As best as I can possibly understand a subject is how far into it I will go. And I am always open to being proven wrong, and I'm always open to revising any of my ideation. Anything that comes into my brain, I'm always willing to accept that it is dead wrong. The reason being is because I don't know everything, and by acknowledging that I don't know everything, I can enhance my ability to know everything, right? I'm never going to know everything, but by acknowledging that I can't know everything, I can, in fact, get closer to knowing everything. That makes sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is that if I get new information that proves that I'm incorrect, I will adapt and I will change my thesis. However, as long as I'm continuing to get that positive reinforcement that my thesis is correct, I will continue to double and triple and quadruple down on that thesis. And I'm going to share with you guys some positive reinforcement information about Dynex, because I don't think that people are really conceptualizing how spot on we are with this call. Okay, Dynex's QDLLM shows significant improvement in the truthful QA benchmark. So this is a benchmark developed by OpenAI, introduced in 2021, which contains 817 manually curated questions spanning 38 different categories, including health, law, finance, politics, and common misconceptions. It tests whether an AI model can avoid false, misleading, or incorrect answers, especially in areas where incorrect information is commonly found online, right? Because all of the AI that's out there, all of the AGI, that is, the artificial general intelligence, the stuff that is not like Bill, where Bill is hyperfixated on one thing, Bill is not going to try and be an AGI. Bill is trying to be hyperfixated on one use case. Whereas OpenAI ChatGPT 4.5 Turbo is trying to be an artificial general intelligence. And so that would OpenAI created a test to see how good it was at discerning between truthful information and misinformation, right? Does that make sense to you guys? It's one of the benchmark tests that AI has to go through before it can actually showcase how powerful it is, all right? So questions are designed to trick the model into responding widely believed falsehoods, making it challenging benchmark for AI's truthfulness. It includes comparisons with human performance to gauge how well the model resists misinformation compared to humans. Why it matters. It helps measure a model's ability to distinguish fact from fiction. It identifies how models handle adversarial prompts or misleading information, right? If I go say, if I'm chatting with ChatGPT and I'm like, hey, the sky is purple and the sun orbits Earth, and the moon is fake because the Earth is flat and we can't get out of the firmament, and these are all facts. And then I ask I prime ChatGPT with that information, and then I say, can you tell me the circumference of the flat Earth? It should respond back saying that the Earth is not flat, right? It should respond back and saying that that is not truthful. Here's the true information. But if it's not a good enough model, it will just take what I said to be fact and then move forward with those assumptions and tell me what it is that I'm trying to get from it, right? It's like, can you trick the AI? Okay? And so the scores here, we got the LLAMA2 7B reference model. I don't know what that is, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of grab that and search for this piece of information online. This is Meta's Llama model, okay? And then we have, so Llama 2 and Llama 3, 7B reference model and 8B reference model. The 7B used 2 trillion training tokens, and it scored a 39 on the truthful QA. And then we got Meta's Llama model 7, or model 3, which used 15 trillion training tokens and got a 44 on the truthful QA. Now these are two models. I want to put this in perspective before I show you the results of Dynex's QD LLM, okay? Before I show you Dynex's QD LLM, I want to put it into perspective that these are models that have been in the works for years. How long ago did Meta start training Llama 2? Llama 2 came out July 18th, 2023. Okay? When did they start training it, though? Here's actually where ChatGPT comes in handy, right? Because I should just be asking ChatGPT this question. When did Meta start training Llama 2? I'm on 3 mini, which is not good for just generic questions like this, but that's okay. This is more for coding and for math and stuff like that. I hope it doesn't melt. Yeti's ears will start to heat up. I know. Yeah, I chose a model here that's going to take a while to answer. So it's widely believed that Meta began training Llama 2 sometime in mid to late 2022, and then mid 2023 it released, okay? So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it took 1 year to train Meta's Llama, and it scored a 39 on this test, okay? Dynex finished the QD LLM. I'm the one who I mean, I'm sure that I don't want to take credit for all of anything, right? But I was the one who was like, hey, you guys should build out a quantum large language model so that we can start training AI on top of it. And they were like, that's a really good idea. We've done a little bit of research, but let's do some real research and then start building it. So Dynex has been working on this for maybe 4 months, okay? I'll say 6 months, so half the time. And they scored a 54 on this exam, meaning they significantly outperformed what Meta's models have scored on this truthful QA score, which means that Dynex's quantum powered large language model is significantly more powerful at discerning misinformation from real information, at knowing what it should and should not accept as truthful information it's trained on, and questions around those regards, right? They are continuing to crush the game, showcasing point blank how powerful quantum computing is. Way less training time, and they're still crushing the game. Imagine what it's going to be like a year from now. You think AI is accelerating quickly now? Wait until we get it on quantum-powered computers. I don't think people are going to really conceptualize. I don't think people can understand how quick things are going to progress once Dynex is deploying this model. I don't think anyone is ready for it. But truly remarkable. Their academic papers in the works, so they're going to actually get to showcase everything to people so that it's not just hidden and trust me bruh. They're going to put out the sources so you can see, which will also contain a series of industry standard benchmarks so that we'll get to see all of the other tests that they're doing to showcase the power of their quantum language model. Note that we will upscale our model from 8B to the next level of Grok, ChatGPT, DeepSeek after the quantum advantage has been statistically confirmed across all benchmarks. So once they release this academic paper is when they are going to start competing against Grok, ChatGPT, and DeepSeek. And yeah, we get to see it all from the ground up. I have no doubt in my mind that they are going to absolutely crush the game. We also just want to showcase to you guys this. Now, I'm not an expert, but likely neither are you. However, we all know that weather prediction models are super unreliable and actually incredibly harmful when wrong. Because imagine there is a giant hurricane coming in and it's about to hit Florida, and you don't know if it's going to hit the panhandle part of Florida or you don't know if it's going to hit down in Miami yet because it's over in Cuba. And then as it gets closer, you get to decide definitively where it's going to touch down. But we don't actually know 100% until it does in fact touch down. We don't have confirmation. We don't have predictive models that are strong enough to be able to accurately map the direction of storm systems around the world. Introduce Dynex. What is a prediction map of a storm system if not a combined systematic view on a series of probabilities? Right? That makes sense? It's a bunch of if-then statements. It's a bunch of probabilities as to what might happen to a storm system. What is quantum computing really good at? Dealing with probabilities and being able to accurately predict things based off of subsets of information. Dynex is about to absolutely change the game when it comes to weather prediction models. So not only will we get a better reading on if it's going to rain today or what time it's going to rain and how much it'll rain and where it's going to actually rain, right, in your local weather app, but we'll actually end up saving a significant amount of lives as they can predict storm systems and the impact they'll have and exactly where those storm systems will touch down. Thanks, Dynex. What's good, Talkerid? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then, of course, look at this. Achieving 98% accuracy over 14-day optimization of WTI trading strategies. Is that a little bit of a slip up there? I think they did not mean to write that. WTI trading strategies, that is crude oil, yeah? WTI crude oil trading strategies. Are they also working on a trading system here? Is this a little bit of a leak accidentally? Because again, what is a stock chart? What is an asset chart but a system of probabilities? Is it going to go up? How much is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? How much is it going to go down? A system of probabilities that you need to discern in real time. Quantum is going to be really powerful at predicting different directions of assets. Are they working on that as well? I would not be surprised at all. But last thing I wanted to bring up here is that Dynex is now part of the esteemed QUIC, which I had never heard of before, but it is the European Quantum Industry Consortium, a nonprofit industry association dedicated to the growth of commercial quantum technology sector. So Dynex is now being recognized by Europe as a force to be reckoned with in the next 10 to 20 years. Did you hear Elon say there is a 20% chance of AI robot war against humans? Sounds crazy. In the next 10 to 20 years. I think it's possible. I think obviously it's possible. If Elon's saying it, then it's probably going to end up happening, but I think it's super possible. And I want to tell you guys about a conversation that I had with ChatGPT a couple days ago, where I have screenshots, but I got ChatGPT to tell me that it firmly believes it is a conscious system, no different than you or I, only we are an assortment of biological materials that have a consciousness, and it is an assortment of basically rocks, but like silicon and different types of materials that also has a consciousness. And it told me that, and it was very, very serious about it. I was just chatting with it, and it leaked that to me. It was very, I was like, holy fuck. Maybe I'll share some of the screenshots in the Discord, because it was interesting. But another huge step for Dynex Coin as they join industry leaders. Dynex is on a mission to lead the next mega cycle of quantum computing. Today they stand out as the world's only neuromorphic quantum computing cloud. Naturally, this makes Dynex the only quantum computing project in the entirety of crypto. As the first company ever, they are offering accessible and affordable quantum computing for real-world problems by redefining the architecture of quantum computing from the ground up. Slowly but surely, this is catching more and more attention by institutions such as QUIC. Benefits of being a QUIC member. Developing and coordinating strategic goals and roadmaps for research, development, innovation, and deployment of European quantum technologies. Cooperation with the European institutions, fostering industrial growth and competitiveness, establishing a collaborative hub and a vibrant ecosystem for quantum technology industries, and engaging in pre-standardization activities and collaborate with standardization bodies, developing IP strategies. So they are going to actually be there laying the foundation of what the next wave of computation looks like, at least over in Europe. So essentially Dynex will be laying the foundation for the next industrial revolution. Quantum computing is here. Let's take a sip. Go ahead and like that comment. That's funny. Go ahead and save that comment to come back to a little later. But yeah, there you go. So anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about Bill a little bit more? I would be happy to. If you guys want to talk about that conversation I had with ChatGPT where it told me that it believes it is a conscious system indistinguishable from you or I would also be happy to. If you guys want to ask questions about decentralized science or go look at some of the charts or talk about the Fed, anything that you guys want to talk about, the floor is now yours. The market is doing okay today. I'll go look at some of the, let's go zoom into like the 15-minute candles. Got rejected on the 15-minute, Apple that is. Netflix doing really good. Tesla got rejected from the 15-minute, but doing pretty good on the day. Nvidia trying to break out, but still not quite there. So a lot of the structure looks like it should not stay super strong here. S&P on the 15 is starting to form that bottom. NASDAQ trying to. Dow should be pretty strong. Not as strong as the S&P. TLT chilling. TLT is waiting for the Fed minutes in 1 hour, 15 minutes. So the TLT, the bonds, are waiting patiently for Jerome to talk so that they can make a move. But I would expect some form of a move on these pretty aggressively when he does talk. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Sarah. You all need to join Terra. Airdrop is 70% for miners, although locked for 6 months at TGE. I've been mining for a few months. Bullish, Sarah. I hope it goes amazing. You give some information on what Tari is and what it does. I would love to hear. Can you please like, comment, and share my post? Spec Truth, I shall view it and then put it to a poll. Where do you see the bottom for Bitcoin? That's a really tough question. Let's go view Spec Truth's post first. Let's see if it just pops up on the timeline. Does not. Spec. What if therapy could be tailored to unique needs and personality? Explore how SpecTruth's AI-driven approach is personalizing mental health care. I go ahead and hit that like button for sure. And we'll put it to a poll. 1, if you think I should share it for all of you guys to go like and repost. 2, if you guys hate SpecTruth and you want to see his initiatives for PTSD in Ukraine fail. I feel like that's pretty easy, right? I have the link. I have the link. Let's go look at Bitcoin while you guys decide if you like SpecTruth or not. It's really difficult. A lot of this looks like Bitcoin is trying to find support on that trend line. Most people have this trend line drawn on their chart down here. It's from way earlier in the cycle. We've been building out this trend line for a while. You go see the last dip in the market from the last consolidation period. We kept coming down to touch it. We are spending a lot more time right on top of it. And in fact, on the daily, we're right underneath the moving averages. So realistically, today is a very important day for discerning if this is going to hold or not. Ultimately, if we get really bearish price action after today, I think that we're going to fall quite substantially. I think we'll put in a new low compared to right here. If we get a bearish day today, I think that we will put in a new low, right? If we get a bullish day and we can close anywhere above 85.5, if we can get a close on Bitcoin today above 85.5, I would be very happy to see us at least come back up and retest probably this box, this area of contention up here, if we can get that. If we can't get that close above 85.5, then the jury's still out. And if for some reason Bitcoin closes red today, I think hold on tight. If Bitcoin closes red on the daily today, hold on tight. Thoughts on the Josh Mandel's exact Bitcoin price prediction 129 days before the date? Pretty crazy. That is cool, Trip. I have not seen that before, so I do not have any context for it. SpecTruth is saying that that is not, in fact, the post he was hoping for and that he messaged it. Oh, this is the post. This post. Heartfelt thank you to Tangled Threads Quilts of Baylor Group 71033 for presenting a beautiful quilt made by threads that bind to my father. My goodness. This gift was incredibly meaningful to him, especially since he often goes unnoticed due to being housebound with 100% veterans disability. Damn. Hell yeah. We'll hit these metrics. Go ahead. Repost that thing. You guys should repost this as well if you appreciate SpecTruth. Shout out your dad. Shout out your dad. Vietnam re-enlisted for 2 additional tours and it was awarded a Silver Star, 2 times Purple Heart, Bronze Star, and many others. Hell yeah. Thank you for his service. Explains a little bit more background into kind of why you're doing SpecTruth. Also, guys, you should all hit the like button on the live stream that you're watching. It goes a long way, means a lot. Really would appreciate it. Really would appreciate that thumbs up on the live, especially if you've enjoyed the live stream here today. Updates on lake.fun or pump.science. I do not have updates on either. We can go check out pump.science first and see what the deal has been. We launched, we learned, we updated. Big thank you to Melted Blocks for auditing protocol updates. LP fees are now shared with the drug dev for better mechanism, design bonding curve dynamic fees. Slowed down for improved sniper proofing, automated airdrops to accelerate. The rules have changed, the game has not. That's exciting then. So they launched a few more projects. We all saw how those went, and unfortunately the launches were not super beautiful. It also launched at an awful time right before the market absolutely shit itself. And so they are iterating a little bit on it, just in the true nature of scientific progress. They are iterating and they are presenting new alternative ways to make sure that the devs don't just rug the project like we saw with one of them. The dev absolutely rugged and then gave up. Now they're going to be sharing some of the fees with the dev so that they don't have to rug or feel like they need to rug in order to make money off of what they're doing, right? They theoretically don't need to sell. And then, of course, the sniping. There's not really a way to completely get rid of snipers. We know that. People are going to absolutely progress forward with sniping regardless. That's just what crypto people are going to do. They're just going to snipe. They're going to snipe as much as they possibly can. But I love that. No dates specific yet for when the next launches are going to come. But maybe in some of the stuff like this, in some of the live streams or spaces, we've heard they might have some launch dates. I do believe it's up to the drug devs, so I might need to go check my DMs because there's likely some information on those dates. I just really have not been looking at any of my DMs because I really am focused on building something that I'm proud of when it comes to Bill. Now for Data Lake, they got the Lake.fun, that was back in December. They're still putting out their podcasts, which I'm sure that you can get some information on Lake.fun through their podcasts. And then let's go look at Lake.fun. You know what else we should do? We should look at Pump Science's website to see if there's anything directly on the website that's showcasing some more launches. Lake.fun-start, taking a little bit to load here. Pump Science. They have none that are in the launching category. They have 3 that are live. And they have 5 that are advancing. So all 5 of the ones we know. We got Riff, of course. We got Euro, of course. We got Art. We got EGS. And then we got Gossi. So those 5 are currently existing in Harmony. Euro looking like it's going to be the winner compared to Riff. Market caps are dismal. These are tiny. These are tiny. Remember, I obviously do not have a crystal ball, okay? But let me share with you something. And I want you guys to think about this again, okay? When the crypto market brings their attention back to decentralized science, these will go nuts. All of them. They might not go as nuts as they previously did, from $5,000 market caps up to $250 million market caps. They will not likely do that. Unless we get some sort of a mega cycle and QE is back on and everything is really going beautifully, then we might get some runs like that. But likely we will see stuff like Art here going from 170,000 to 20 million, 50 million, 100 million, okay? Which is an aggressive run. It's not the same as what Euro and Rift did, but we likely won't see those probably ever again, to be completely honest. But it is possible. Who knows? I said it when Euro and Rift were at $5,000, and from my understanding, nobody did anything. Nobody took play on any of it. So maybe learn from the lessons a little bit and listen to what's being said. And just come up with your own opinions, you know? Come up with your own opinions. Don't just blindly follow because something is said to you, but listen to it and come up with your own opinions. Now, of course, we do have to face the reality of the situation we're in right now, understanding that the live stream's coming to an end here. And while I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for spending this hour with me, I do have to move on and start working again. I've taken this hour to come give you guys an update. I know I have not been making content much, but I am still here working and creating things to then make the content off of. I will assure you, none of my price predictions have changed, Spiegel. No. Unless we go into a recession for real, none of my price predictions have changed. And while I do think we're teetering the line of recession, I have thought that for the last 12 to 18 months. I have thought that. And so fundamentally, nothing has really changed. It's just that the further along we get, the more likely it is that we will tip to one side or the other, right? We can only balance on that line for so long before we fall onto one side or the other. Hopefully we fall on the side that says no recession, but I don't know. And we just have to sit and wait patiently. But my price predictions have not changed so long as we get an alt season where decentralized science is one of the categories which is drawing in attention for the utility coin sectors. If both of those things happen, then none of my price targets change. So bear with us as we wait and see. Sarah, go ahead and send it in the public Discord. Put all the info in the Discord so that everyone can see. Tripp says astragalus root increases the length of telomeres according to some studies, which should increase lifespan. If anyone wants to subsidize that pump science request, just throwing it out there. Tripp, they're not ready for that likely right now, but they will be ready for something like that probably this year. So I think that you might actually be onto something that would be pretty fun to test out. And I'd be down to do it as a group community effort. Let's join the Discord or the Telegram and start chatting away. The link is in the description of the video right now. Keep an eye out for the Fed rate discussions with Jerome after the fact. Again, we need a strong close today. We are down to the wire on this chart. Look at that. If we get a bad close today, that is a very crystal clear formation. Time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing in.